Okay, we'll open the meeting. First thing is to make note that this is all being taped by Area 58, and actually, we will be using that for our minutes tonight since our secretary, administrative assistant is unavailable. Pledge of allegiance, if you join me, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing would be to approve the agenda. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
And any discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we have a bunch of appointments to
Got a
go.
lot to do tonight.
We do.
You do have a
6
6
o'clock
o'clock.
is Mr. Peck.
Yep. Not here.
Not here?
Here.
Not here.
All right, well, we'll just hang on to that. The reason, I'll say this, I asked for him to come in just because we have to deal with his alcohol license. And I just want to know what he's up to in terms of over there, so.
Sure.
Okay, so the next one will be Jake Sullivan from J&J Motorsports, but apparently he said he can't.
We're actually going to be.
Oh, you're here.
They're actually here.
Hey, there you go.
Good.
I'm his dad.
All right, give us, since it's scheduled for 6:10, just in case somebody, we've got a lot of open meeting issues every day, so we'll wait till 6:10.
Okay.
Maybe just be patient, and then let's do some of the,
Want to start with the minutes?
the minutes.
Go through the minutes, sure.
Mr. Court?
Yes, sir.
Right on the third line down on the top there.
I move to approve the following select minutes. Regular session August 6, 2021. Regular session December 14, 2021. Regular session June 1st, 2022. Executive session May 24th, 2022.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, it's unanimous. Do you want to, next one to the executive session minutes of May 24th?
Yeah. Do I move to approve the following?
Nope.
Oh.
This one right here, vote to.
Vote to release executive
Yeah.
session minutes May 24th, 2022.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 It's unanimous. Okay, now we go to the warrants.
All right, warrants. I move to affirm approval of the following warrants and commitments. Vendor warrant number 49 for $41,590.34. Payroll warrant number 50 for $419,401.70. Vendor warrant number 51 for $456,548.41. School warrant number 52 for $265,199.59. Withholding warrants number 53 for $147,312.32. Mobile home park fee number 12 for $5,148.00. Ambulance commitments 11/21/22 to 11/27/22 for $47,992.67. And another ambulance commitment for 11/28 to 12/4/22 for $48,245.88.
So second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Okay, on the next motion, vendor warrant 54.
Yep.
The amount on that is going to be $176,186.02.
Okay,
All right.
motion for that amount?
Move the warrant commitment number 54 for 107,000. What?
176.
176,000. No,
176.
that's what it was. All right.
186.
See, I'm dyslexic.
That's all right. It's all good.
176, 186.02.
Second.
All those in any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Unanimous. Okay, bills.
Yep. So
Bills.
You got 'em?
Yeah, I should go first time. What we got?
So that's the mobile home. We already did that one.
Yep. What do we got? Where's that?
now-
So, what do I got? I move to approve the payments following selectmen bills.
Yep.
Law 01-151, $9,582.55. Selectmen expenses account $248.40.
That's the WB Mason.
WB Mason.
Yep.
$78 for law for DBA LexisNexis.
Search legal.
$901.25 for KP Law PC. $590 for, what do we got? Epstein and August LLP.
All right.
That's it.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Gotta sign all those.
Minutes. So, we can do all the licenses at the same time, I think, that we can hold up on that. Let's go to some of these discussions, I think some of them.
Okay.
We have a discussion of an open meeting law complaint filed by Patrick Higgins concerning action on the November 22nd meeting. And I think the recommendation from the town interim administrator is to refer that to council. So I would move that the complaint filed by Patrick Higgins regarding the November 22nd Board of Selectmen meeting for alleged open meeting violation be referred to the council for response.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. By the way, the objection had to do with not listing on the agenda certain details. Okay, we still have some time. We have a request from our veterans agent, Steve Littlefield, to terminate the Memorial Day Committee and reinstitute it as the Halifax Veterans Services Council. My first question is, do we have anybody on that Memorial Day Committee now?
Yeah, I believe we do. I couldn't tell you who. Good question for Pam. But there's the letter from Steve.
I'll read the letter.
Okay.
So, in my short time as acting Veteran Services Officer, I have evaluated some of the programs and policies that the department has been utilizing over the last few years. This is the Memorial Day Committee, which has historically assisted with the parade and ceremonies on an annual basis. While the Memorial Day Committee has been great for Memorial Day itself, it leaves out many other opportunities for a group of citizens to help our veteran community throughout the year. I have many people ask, what can I do to help? And I would like to put their desire to serve to good use. I'm proposing the termination of the Halifax Memorial Day Committee and instituting a more all-encompassing Halifax Veteran Services Council. The proposed council would assist in serving the veterans of Halifax on a year-round basis with special emphasis on Memorial and Veterans Day celebrations, providing services to our veteran community, especially those with disabilities or the elderly, and ensuring that the veterans of Halifax know that they live in a town that cares for and honors our veterans. I'm requesting this matter be added to the Board of Selectmen agenda. Please reach out to me with any questions. It seems to me at least have the Memorial Day Committee comment on this. I mean, I don't know who's on there. I know at times we've had a hard time getting anybody on the Memorial Day Committee, and other times we haven't, so. And the second thing is the Memorial Day Committee, if anyone knows, kind of an ad hoc group, or is it something that is established, like the beautification committee or something like that?
I do not know. I believe it was actually established, but I'm not sure. I can reach out to comments from the Memorial Day Committee. It sounds like he really just wants to expand
Yeah.
the responsibilities of the committee and
Yeah, let more people.
name it differently. Not, I don't think he's trying to do away with the people who are serving on it.
Right,
So,
I think it would be wrong for us just to do it without talking to them.
right.
And then the other part of that is if this board have the authority just to disband it and to rename it into something else, or is it
Right.
something that was like a town meeting article or something along those lines? I just don't know.
Right. I don't remember it being a town meeting article. I think it was something that was, right.
Yeah.
I think it may have been established by the selectmen though, but we'll
Maybe.
find out.
But if it's just the board that makes the decision, then we should. If it's something more than we need to be aware of. So we can put this on for the future agenda. And
Mhm.
I would just recommend that we just let Steve Littlefield know that we've taken it up, and these are the things that we're gonna do before we make a decision. All right. Any discussion about that?
No,
No.
I think Sandy was right. I think he was looking to just expand its bandwidth a little bit to include more than just Memorial Day and offer services. And
Yep.
I know he's got some different ideas about, veteran signage around town and just kind of expanding the role of what they're doing.
I think that's great.
So,
Yeah.
He's a very aggressive guy about
yeah,
that. That's good.
a lot of energy. It's great.
Okay, so we have a 6 of 10 appointment with J&J Motors, and you folks are here. Who's J&J? You are?
So that's his son and it's my partner.
Okay. Let me just pull out here what brings us. So we got a letter from a resident who lives on Indian Path Road, and I'll just read it so that we all know what we're talking about. As residents of Indian Path Road, we attended the initial licensing hearing for J&J Motorsports on 413 Plymouth Street. The license was granted for a maximum of 12 vehicles for sale outside at any given time. There are always considerably more than 12 vehicles on the premises, making it, one, difficult to see at times when merging onto busy Route 106, and 2, I don't know what that means. And 2,
Oh, yeah.
is constantly unsightly and unkept. They seemed like nice kids at the time, and we wanted to support new business in town of Halifax. We would have spoken up at the meeting had we known this would have been the case. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. And they attached a copy of the used car dealer license, which says no more than 12 unregistered, unexpected, unregulated vehicles on the property. And I think, is this up for reappointment today?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to just tell us your name so we have it on the record, and we'll, comments, whatever you have to say.
Yeah, I'm Jay Sullivan, I'm Jake's dad. He couldn't make it today, he's in the police academy,
Okay,
so, yeah, this
And
is,
then I'm Nicholas Murphy, so I'll be running the day-to-day operations while he's in the police academy. And we do have it conformed back to the 12 vehicles and it should be there.
you do have what?
There's only 12 vehicles right now out there, that's how we're gonna keep it.
Okay, all right, and any reason why they expanded past 12? Just
I
business?
just got a little out of hand and bought more cars than I should have.
they had just started a second lot in East Bridgewater.
I
They
see.
have another company there.
Store them there until you got the other place
Yeah,
up and
so now
running.
they're all up.
So it's kind of just,
Now you moved them.
Yeah, they're all where they're supposed to be, so they're at Bridgewater, it's an unlimited license.
Okay.
So all the vehicles are up there now, and there's just 12 in Halifax.
Okay.
One of the things they complained about was some line of sight issues on that corner there.
Right.
So I don't know if there's a way that you can just arrange your vehicle so that it doesn't
Definitely.
interfere. That'd
Right.
probably solve a lot of
Yeah,
problems.
we can definitely do that.
So,
And I know, Jake would like to increase the size of the license. Is that another one?
well, we don't have a request yet.
Okay.
So he'll have to come in and talk with Pam, I guess.
Yep.
And she can explain to him what the process would be to do that, and how
Right,
to go
right,
about
right.
doing it. I don't know, this doesn't require any planning board issues, I don't, it might need a variance of some sort.
If it was a substantial change to the site plan, it might need a
Yeah.
site plan review, but I'm not positive.
Okay, so well, if you come in and talk to Pam
Sure.
McSherry, our administrative assistant, she handles all that.
Okay, great. Excellent.
Okay, does anybody on the board have any
No.
questions?
No.
Nope.
It's a good problem to have, I guess, when you
Yeah.
get a lot of cars.
Yeah, too many cars.
But just know too that you'll have residents that,
Right.
that'll keep an eye on you guys.
Try to
so
keep it neat.
Try and keep it as neat as you can, and,
Absolutely.
when you have a ton of traffic, so you have a lot of eyes of Halifax on you, so
Right.
keep it as nice as you can, we appreciate it.
I think the letter's well-written in the sense of they don't intend you any harm.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
seems
they-
like they want you to be successful, we do, so that would be great.
Yep.
Right, great.
It's better than an empty building.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't think this requires any action on the board's behalf, other than we've discussed it. And when we get to our renewals, we do have the
It's on the,
last two license, but we're not going to get to those for a little while. And
Okay.
we're just going to prove it like we normally do, because it doesn't seem to be any other problems, so,
Awesome.
okay?
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
have a
luck
good rest of your
with
night.
good luck with the academy.
6:15, Laura Black. Mrs. Black, hi. Come on in.
Come on in, have a seat.
We don't want to be close to everybody, that's all right.
Yeah.
Make plenty of room. Let me just get the right paperwork here. So we have a trailer application for extension of time.
Yes.
This is 25A Street. And what I understand, you have a picture in here too, it tells us what's going on. What I understand is a year ago, you
At
had
the
the
end of
first...
October, a tree hit my house, and then a month later, the trailer in.
Okay. All right, and what,
Nothing's been
how long has the
said.
trailer been on the property?
Just about a month now. Yeah, it was a month at the beginning of December.
Oh, okay, so this is their first extension. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. And you had some damage to the house and it repaired, and that's what
Well, they're
you...
tearing it down, and it hasn't started yet.
I see,
So
okay.
it's permits and trying to
Yeah,
line everything
yeah.
up has been unreal. Beyond
Okay,
belief.
we've notified all the abutters. We've notified the Board of Health, the Building Inspector, Planning Board, Water, ZBA. Everybody's been notified about this. We've received no
No
comments.
comments.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
No. You gonna be warm enough this winter in there?
Oh, yeah, it
You'll
is
be
warm,
okay?
and it warms up really quick. Yeah,
Okay.
It does. It
All right.
does.
Hopefully it's not too long of a process.
It already has been over a year, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Hopefully not much longer for you.
construction
Yeah.
nowadays is a real...
It's a lot.
So. All right, do we have
Stats,
do we have a motion to approve a one-year extension for Ms. Black?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Good luck.
Good luck to
Thank you
you.
very much.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Have a good one, thank you.
You too.
Let's see. Let's see, 6:30.
6:30,
Okay, so the
second
chief
time.
is here, and we have some time, and we can deal with the police chief. We have two issues that kind of fall under his jurisdiction. Oh, we have Mr. Gannon coming in at 6:30. Okay, we'll deal with that then. All right, so Chief, you wanted to talk to us about assignment of a school resource officer?
It was just a memo that I sent you guys, just to make you guys aware of it, that we made that change, that the Officer McIntyre was going to be doing dual roles of a school resource officer and a court prosecutor, and Officer Schleif was coming off the part-time prosecutor, and he was going to be her backup. So he's going to remain kind of train her to get her up to speed. So I think that helps the department with overtime issues, because when the night works, they split 8 to 4 and 4 to midnight shift. So if he's not on duty and we have court business, he's got to come in, on overtime. So this way, when she's working 8 to 4, when she's all set with her responsibilities at the school, then she can handle the court and come back and we can utilize her for different things in town.
Okay.
So it's actually worked out really well so far.
Do you need us to do anything?
No, it was just,
This is an advisement?
just
All right.
advise you guys.
Good, thank you. You also have a request here for Officer Schleif to be on 111F.
Yep.
Yeah, that was just for one day. So, him and Officer DeRue, responded to it ended up being a mental health call, and they were trying to make an arrest, and during the arrest, Officer Schleif injured his ankle swelled up, so he went to the urgent care. They kept him on a day, and then he returned back to work, so that it was for that one day that he
Okay.
went on 111.
All right, so do we have a motion to approve the 111F injured on duty for one day, which would be December 6th?
6.
December 6th. Yeah, so moved.
Okay, do we,
Second.
second, any discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? It's unanimous. Okay.
It's mine.
Let's see, we still have some time. We're making great progress.
Yeah, we're flying.
This is
We're
fantastic.
cooking with gas,
For the
baby.
We do
longest.
have a couple of contracts that need to be signed.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, we need to, I don't see it on here, but approve the...
Yeah, it is, you know, it's the bottom of the the first page.
Let's get that out.
Bottom of the
No, wait,
first?
second page, bottom of the second page.
second?
Bottom of section.
Yeah, it starts, the comment starts, you sort of started in stream, so review liaison list, Sandman law.
Jumbled together here.
Yeah, really
All
threw
right,
me
so
off.
let's go right to the town administrator's contract. Do we have a copy of
I
that for
do.
the board here? So it was negotiated, I've already signed it, Mr. Haddad has signed it, we're all in agreement. I think you guys have been kept up to date with what the
Yep.
negotiations were. So all we need now is just the board to approve, I guess to approve the contract.
Sure. I'll make a motion to approve the contract for the town of Halifax with Cody Haddad to be our next town administrator.
Second.
And I just want to make one comment. On the form, there was a note that was supposed to be approved by town council for form. I spoke with, I don't know why that was on there, that's a mistake. I
Okay.
spoke with town council, and there's no requirements for this to have any town council involvement, and he didn't have anything to do with it. So he said, well, I don't think I should be involved. So that's the only reason why that line's not signed.
Okay.
Everything else is in the
Okay.
Sign this right now.
Okay, any other comments on,
No.
so all those in favor of accepting the contract with the town administrator Cody Haddad, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Awesome. You don't need our.
We don't need our signature,
down
right?
yet. You sign?
Just one.
Yeah,
Okay.
So that will take care of,
Right here.
No, it's town clerk.
Test signature.
the only one that would be is
Town
the
council.
accountant had to sign that we had enough money.
That's always a good thing. Always check the books.
Yeah. Where am I signing?
I don't think we
Okay.
need to.
All right, yeah.
Um,
No, we're good.
I thought you said one. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
we have
did you
one,
review your liaison list?
Yeah, so I jumped ahead, but let me get back. We have the, the liaison list that we had talked about. I don't know, we talked about this last meeting, I think, and anybody has any changes, comments, suggestions, anything?
Where are we at?
The liaison list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
And it's really whatever, it is just the first person to talk to, you know, on these things. So we can change it at any time, it's not set in stone, but it's just to get us going. So are there any comments about any of this?
I mean, are we still gonna have the animal control officer when I'm assigned to? We'll figure that out today.
Well, we'll have a position.
Yeah, like a
We'll
spot.
still need a go-between. kind
Yes.
of, So, yeah.
All right.
Okay, any
Yeah.
questions about it, anything? No?
Looks
Okay.
Nope, looks good.
Again, I don't think we need to vote on it, I think we just accept it as it is.
Just checking it out.
Yep, all right, we did that. Now, we have also a letter from Sandman Law, should be in your file here.
So Sandman Law contacted us back in July.
Okay.
They want to represent us. Years ago, they represented us on a case for MTBE being in the water, and we did get a good amount of money out of that settlement. So now they'd like to represent us on a pollutant called PFAS. Right now, our water levels don't show a high level of this in the water. It's low and it's under the government limits. There is a chance that the EPA is going to be changing their limits, though, and we may fall within. I did bring this back in July to the water commissioners. They were interested in pursuing it.
Okay.
I did send it to the attorney to just look at the agreement, to our attorney to just look over the agreement from Sandman Law. And really, the main thing that he pointed out was we should make sure that the client in the agreement would be the town of Halifax, not the water department specifically, because it could affect other departments, such as the fire department, because, so it could affect other departments. And that was his main comment.
Did the Sandman people send us a form contract of some sort?
Yes, they did.
Okay, and does it indicate in there that the town is the client? or-
It left client, it just said a blank with client. So that was Mr. Durensis, Attorney Durensis' suggestion, to make sure it said Town of Halifax, and that it had to be a full board to sign a contract, so that's why we've put it off till now. But the water department was interested, and that's where we started. So it's up to you if you want to pursue it.
This is not going to cost us, the town, anything.
No.
These large class action litigation, both have heard of, different cigarettes or whatever. So if they're successful, we end up with some payment. If they're not successful, we don't end up with anything, but we haven't cost us anything on this. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do we know offhand, Sandy, if there are other, not that it should sway our decision one way or the other, but are there other towns?
There are other
Yeah,
towns.
he listed
In
it.
fact, there's one town,
Lunenburg, North Rain.
Oh, Lunenburg, North Rain.
yeah.
Sandwich.
There's quite a few of them.
Yeah,
And I actually think
it's the whole state in the back.
Avon might not be going through the same attorney, but I think Avon was dealing with quite an issue on it, so I believe that they were also.
I think it's a great idea because, as you say, we're below the threshold right now. But who's to say if the government doesn't lower that threshold, and then we're going to
Then we
need
have to clean it up.
to clean it up and use some funding to get to that threshold, so
Right.
I'd be in favor of it.
Okay. All right, so we'll have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion on the PFAS contamination lawsuit? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Still have a few more minutes. We have discussions on Pasture Lane and Sherwood Drive. I don't think anybody's here for that.
No.
So we can just take these issues up. I don't know, are they the same issue, it sounds like to me, or they're not?
No, they're similar, similar in nature. In other words, there are issues that have come from the planning board. The planning board has asked that the selectmen act on them, but I'm not sure that in discussing the Pasture Lane issue with our attorney, Rich Huxham, he said it's not in the selectmen's wheelhouse. The selectmen really have no authority
Can I
to.
just so we have,
Sure.
we all know what we're talking about, at least on Pasture Lane, it's a development that doesn't have the roads finished the way it was.
The road was not
Usually
finished,
that
correct.
means there's only a base coat, the drainage isn't correctly done, the sewer grates aren't in the right spot, all that kind of stuff. And people that live there, who bought houses there, expecting the developer to fix it, haven't, been mad about that. And at the time, the planning board, which I don't hope they don't do anymore, used to just put a hold on one lot as a means of security to make sure the developer did what he was going to do, or they would have to take it over. And I read the letter in Pasture Lane, I think it's Pasture Lane, maybe I'm mixing them up now.
I believe it was.
Yeah, Pasture Lane, that somehow that lot was been sold to somebody, a developer who wants a building permit, and he has talked to the planning board about finishing the job. I don't think it has anything to do with us. I really don't. I don't know how any of us have anything to do with it. The planning board has to release the lot if the work is done. Or the way it's supposed to be done, you get a bond. Right? So the builder goes, he gets a bond, the town holds the bond. If the builder defaults, they go to the insurance company pays us for it. It requires the developer to lay out some cash. The bonds aren't cheap. So a lot of times they want to get away from that by saying, okay, I have 10 lots in this division you've approved. One of them we won't sell until we fix the roads. That's apparently not working. So hopefully they don't do that any longer. But again, I don't see the board having anything to do with it. So is that the same issue on
It's a different issue. There is
Sherwood Drive?
on Sherwood Drive, there is a drainage issue.
Oh, yeah. But again, it's a developer failure to follow through.
I believe so.
Okay. Maybe what we should do, I mean, I hate to handle matters like this through anonymous emails back and forth. So maybe what we should do is have a meeting with the planning board and just hash this out. And
Sure.
make sure that we have it, and perhaps before that, if we can just get something from the land use lawyer outlining whose responsibility this is, so that we don't get into that discussion where I think it's one thing and you think it's something else, and neither
Sure.
one of us know what we're talking about, right? I mean, that's what
Yeah.
often happens.
I think that's a great idea. I know, especially with Pasture Lane, this has been a long time. And those folks have been waiting a long time for a road that is drivable. We have snow that's coming soon, you know, and then we're looking at a hazardous situation there. So the quicker I feel like we can get these two issues solved, the better. So whatever we have to do that.
I don't know if we need a motion, I don't think so.
I'll reach out to
We'll just-
the land use attorney. Actually, I believe that the attorney for the person who is holding the lots has already reached out to our attorney.
Good.
Because I was contacted by Mr. Huxham, or Attorney Huxham, and he had said that he would be willing to work with the planning board on the subject. So maybe if we speak with him.
Yeah, I mean,
First.
honestly, that's kind of resolving these things in an informal way. It's usually better if you can. Just to make sure everybody thinks that they're doing that. We all think we're talking about the same thing, you know?
Right.
And again, the planning board wants us to, quote, do something, but I'm not sure we can do anything, other than stamp my feet, and I'm not gonna do that again. Okay, good, so we'll put that on for another time. All right, 6:30, we have Mr. Gannon.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, good. And this happens to be with Precision Wildlife, a proposal for the Animal Control Officer Services. Chief, you were mostly involved in this?
Yeah.
So you want to just
some
tell all of us
background.
what's going on and...
So back in August, our animal control officer left for another position. So we've been without an animal control officer for quite some time. We had put out a request for applications, and the response was very minimal. I mean, we had actually advertising Indeed, I'll never do that again. So we had everybody and their father applying, and it was just unrelated to the position. So my animal control officer, before she left, mentioned that East Bridgewater was looking at setting something up where they'd have a company provide animal control officer services for the town. So I kind of had that in the back of my mind, and said, there might be something for us to look at, kind of privatize our services. East Bridgewater contracted with Precision Wildlife to provide their animal control and animal inspector duties for the town of East Bridgewater. I reached out to the chief there. He's been really pleased with the services. He has no complaints at all so far. So we spoke with Sandy, and we put out a RFP, request for proposals or for bids. This again was the only bid that we received. When we looked at the bid, it was a little higher than what we had expected because of the bid that he had given East Bridgewater, and we were only asking for animal control duties, not animal inspector duties. So I had reached out to him to see if he could come in, speak to the board, see if you guys can come to some sort of understanding. I'm sure he has some explanations on why his bid was higher. I mean, Halifax is a smaller community than East Bridgewater. I think maybe half the size. But the general services would be the same, the same. Right now, our ACO is budgeted for 18 hours a week, and then there's an expense account. That would be the funds that we'd have available to contract out with Precision Wildlife. So that's where we're at right now.
Okay. Just a question, so this would be a contract with Mr. Gannon's company?
Yeah, correct.
And what does the town have to provide in
Nothing.
uniforms, anything like that?
According to again, I'm just basing it on what East Bridgewater did. I have a copy of their contract.
Yeah.
Mr. Gannon's company provides vehicles, liability insurance. They just require, like, any of the equipment that we have still available, like our catch straps, our poles, all that, would go over to his company, and then he would provide the service, be on call if need be. What's kind of great about his company is that they also do bats, and my guys are allergic to bats. They don't like fighting bats in people's homes. It tends to get really nasty. And so he provides that service. That's, I think what his company was based on is wildlife removal. So I think it would be a benefit to the town.
Okay, does this arrangement, so they, like stray dogs and all of that?
Any of the duties that is in our policy right now, they would take care of all the fines, dog bites, any of that stuff. Deceased animals, obviously if it's like a deer or something, they would ask for help from the highway department. Any bats or any rabid animals, they would package, ship out. Obviously the cost would be on the town to pay for that. Did I forget anything else? I mean,
No, I don't think so, yeah.
pretty much.
Do we don't maintain a dog pound anymore?
No, we don't. So we have we have a kennel that we will keep a dog overnight. We have a contract with Lakeville, like a lot of the area towns have. So any animal that has to be impounded would go to Lakeville, and then the cost would go to the owner, or if we can't find an owner, then the town would.
Okay, and that doesn't affect
No,
this?
the contract, because I think East Bridgewater has it with Lakeville as well.
Same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
Do you, before we ask Mr. Gannon, anybody want to ask any questions of the chief or anything?
Not of the chief, no.
Okay, Mr. Gannon, you want to just tell us about yourself?
Sure,
your
come on
company,
up.
and-
Great, let's see, all right. So yes, so we've been doing the East Bridgewater Animal Control since March. I come from a wildlife background. I've been running my business for 21 years, mainly dealing with nuisance wildlife and services to homes and businesses. This is definitely a work in progress with the town. I grew up in East Bridgewater. I've had my business in East Bridgewater for 21 years. So we're still learning. We've just finished training, so we're now actually certified. My son assists and manages most of the man hours, so if we get a roadkill or a loose dog or something like that, he's a lot more available on the day-to-day. And in the weekends, we're available too, so we've been doing a lot on the weekends. It's hit or miss with the hours. Sometimes we're getting calls off the hook, 8 o'clock at night, midnight. Sometimes it's a lull. So we just manage them the best we can. There's a gray area when it comes to what I do for Precision Wildlife Services and animal control for a town. We don't handle wildlife issues for residents, and the town of Halifax shouldn't be responsible for their animal control officer to go handle those situations. So for instance, if someone has a bat in their house in the middle of the night, we're not going to be on call 24 hours as an animal control operator to go get that bat unless we discuss the budget a little more, So, and there's a lot of different things, woodchucks. People have questions, we'll help them steer them in the right direction, but we also have a list of other wildlife control operators, just like myself, that I'm friends with that are legitimate, licensed, and ethical, so we can refer to whoever they may need, and there's a list as well. So yeah, like I said, it's a work in progress. The number is higher, and I think that the number with East Bridgewater will go higher as well. Just seeing that we're maintaining the vehicles, we're putting the gas in the vehicles, gas is going up, and the workload. There's a lot of stuff on the road, and there's a lot of calls and management of X, Y, and Z. And then there'll be continuing education that we need to do every year to maintain our licensing and all that good stuff. So I think it's a good fit with East Bridgewater right now. A little bit challenging, balancing it all, but again, my son, he does a great job. And the deers, like the deer calls, we got one today, he handled it on his own. Sometimes it seems like every holiday we get a roadkill deer for some reason. We got one 4th of July, we got one Labor Day. So, but yeah, we kind of handle those things together.
Do we, Chief, in the past with the animal control officer, he or she, if someone called because there were squirrels running around the attic, that's not something that we would normally have handled?
No, she would, like Ed said, she would give them recommendations on wildlife services, because she wouldn't handle that.
Correct. That's a homeowner issue. They may have a hole up in the soffit or something like that where the town wouldn't be involved in maintaining someone's home and defending their home against.
How about in leash law stuff or?
Yeah, that's part of the duties.
That's animal control,
Yeah.
okay. And I know in the past, we've had complaints of excessive barking.
Yeah, that's something they would handle as well.
Okay.
All that type of stuff falls under the ACO.
Did you provide us with a proposal contract?
Yeah.
Sandy has a copy, and I
Anybody on the board have any questions for?
No, thank you for coming in. I was excited. I think it makes a lot of sense, as far as, making a point of,
Yeah, there was
we're not
some-
bringing on vehicles that we have to maintain. We're not spending money on our gas. We're not, offering you health insurance or anything like that kind of stuff. So I think financially it makes sense. I will say I was a little concerned when you came in higher than EB. And like Chief says, EB is a bigger community. So that was the biggest question I had. I know initially you were lower than the number you're coming in here. So I just had a question as to why it was a little bit higher than.
Yeah, essentially, there has to be an adjustment with East Bridgewater as well. We attempted probably about 6 or so years ago to do, maybe less than that, to do the same thing with East Bridgewater. And then I was approached to try to make it all kind of happen again. So we kind of came in where we thought it would be a good fit, but realistically, as a business owner, it has to work. Financially, I can't be just barely getting by and
Yeah.
you know.
You undershot it a little bit in East Bridgewater.
I did,
Okay.
yeah, so there's gonna be, and that was talked about, there may be an adjustment, they're willing to adjust that as long as they're happy with what's happening
Okay,
and what we're doing, that will happen, so that's kind of where we're at.
okay.
The limited liability, obviously, on your end, there's no holidays, no vacation.
Yeah,
However, me and my son will take some time off from time to time, but I also have other technicians, minimal, but other technicians on the road, right out of East Bridgewater. If we have a roadkill or simple service that's needed for the town, that's what we're all trying to do now anyway. If they see something in East Bridgewater, hazards on, and pick it up and deal with it,
Mhm.
So there's a little bit of assistance on that side of it too.
okay.
Raj?
No?
So,
Very good.
I don't know, are we talking about a one-year contract, a two-year contract, or have we had?
I feel like a year to year would be comfortable, and if things work, they work, and we continue on, and it has to work for both. I do not understand totally what is done in the town. I don't know how many dogs there are, I don't know what the call log is. All that stuff would be of interest of me, but again, that number is what it is, and we're comfortable to move forward, for a year and.
I think, I asked Sandy to put on her accountant hat earlier, right, so we could have this discussion, but I think we have enough funds, at least right now, to maintain this contract through this fiscal
For the
year.
half year.
So,
Happy.
well,
Yes,
so
so-
what I was thinking is maybe we have like a year and a half contract to start, so that we get to July, and then we'll have to go to town meeting to get the refunding for a whole year after that. So I don't know if that's something that,
So that would be like a year and a half.
well, our fiscal year ends in June 30th.
Okay.
So we get a whole new budget starting July 1st, right?
Right.
So this year, we're still working off of last year's budget.
Okay.
So but we can afford to do that this year, for the rest of this year, and then we need to, and then we'll run the contract year from year after that.
Sure.
Okay. I think we probably should have town council review the paperwork, just to
Yep.
make sure it's done
Sure.
in whatever ways is necessary, and I'm not sure which town council we use for that now, so.
I think where this is not a labor issue, it would go to Attorney Terensis.
Okay, all right, so I'll make the motion that we engage in discussion, negotiation with Mr. Gannon and his company, have town council review or prepare appropriate agreement for animal control services.
Second?
What I can do too is, I'm sorry, is I can provide Ed all the numbers from last year. Amanda was pretty good about, keeping call logs and all that, and she's actually meticulous about that stuff. And then kind of provide the policy and everything else, so he's aware of where. It's basically the same thing that East Bridgewater has.
By the way, what are we doing right now?
Police officers.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're all,
And-
they all have.
and-
Scared of bats.
And we were scared of bats, and if we get jammed up, like something that's major, I think it's Hanson, or one of the other departments, we reached out, and then he'll come down, but it's, I think he's been down once.
Okay.
If it's something that, major that we can't handle, but
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And you can call us,
Yeah.
like I said.
So if we can get this together for the first of the year, would that work?
It would.
Like I said, we'd do 6 months and then start a whole
Mhm.
year after that, just, so it'd be like 8, as opposed to having a contract, your contract running January to January and everything else in town running June to June, so it just.
Correct.
Get you on the same schedule.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No problem.
we'll see if we can get, so I have a motion to ask town council to prepare a contract, negotiate, speak with Mr. Gannon, and see if we can get that done before the first of the year would be perfect.
Yep, and I seconded it.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Thanks, Mr.
coming in.
Gannon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, we'll talk to you. I'll reach out to you.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Gannon. So we still have about 18 minutes
That's all that.
before the finance committee comes in. Oh, how'd you get on that?
Oh, no, I'm not on it.
Oh,
And that's what she's here for.
We have 2 more.
yeah.
So we
yep,
have-
yep,
That's 2 down there on page 3.
Okay, so,
Where are we looking at? These are all done.
so we have,
Yeah, we have a mattress contract and a sustainable materials contract
okay, so
to be signed.
let's take up, what is the sustainable materials?
It's a grant that we get every year from the state, it's a DEP contract for recycling.
Where are we looking? Do we have it in our?
It's right here. It was just mattresses. Oh, we actually do have something for it.
And then there is a mattress contract.
I made myself a little liar.
Guys, I gotta be the bad guy.
Are you talking to me?
Talking to you, go on.
This is for recycling?
That is for recycling. That is for a grant from DEP.
Okay.
All right, a grant. This is a contract with a company to pick up the mattresses. As you know, as you may have heard, the mattresses can no longer be thrown away.
Let's do
So, do one at a time.
So the first thing that we have here is contract for RDP, which again is for recycling. We don't have that.
It's a recycling grant. Sustainable materials
Oh, I see, so we get money back.
recovery program grant. Yep. If you could just have a vote to have the chairman sign it,
Okay.
to allow the chairman to sign it. and then,
That means we're getting money. You get that?
Oh,
Yeah.
We like that.
money.
Money's good.
Wrong,
Do
we
we
have
have a
money.
motion to allow the chairman to sign the contract for RDP?
I'll make a motion to allow our chairman to sign the contract for RDP.
I will second.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous, and it is signed. I'll let you fill in the rest of it. Okay? All right, that takes care of that. Now, we have a mattress contract, and that's true. Apparently, you can't throw mattresses out anymore.
Oh, right there. Yeah.
Or shoes, for that matter, so I guess we're gonna need a shoe
Shoes.
contract.
So no more
So
mattresses.
this is a company that will be taking the mattresses. They're a company that we were using, like way up in price, and this is a different company that we'll be using.
Oh, so we're still getting rid of them? Just
Yes.
different company?
So our recycling center will still take the mattresses
Okay.
for a cost,
Okay,
and we will still have them picked up.
okay.
Sadie, do you know offhand, is that a break even for us?
I think it pretty much is. We might make a little, but not
Okay.
that much.
As long as they're not on the
They
side of
try
the
to
street.
set the prices, so we
Yeah.
don't lose too much money on it.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, so we have a contract with, it's recommended by the recycling committee, it's calling it supply contract with Hand Up USA LLC to manage the mattress program.
I'll make, was that a motion?
A motion to allow the selectmen to sign the
We need you to
contract.
make a motion.
All right, I will make a motion to allow the selectmen to sign a contract,
The chairman.
Chairman.
the chairman to sign a contract for a mattress contract for Hand Up USA LLC.
Okay,
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. We just need to fill in the details. Okay.
Thank you.
That handles that. We did the 111F request. We have a letter from the, let's see here.
Plymouth Area Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, I lost it.
Here it is.
Oh, okay. Sam's got it.
Can you pass it?
So we have a letter from Bob Nolet from the Plymouth Area Chamber of Commerce's. I'm writing in hopes you can assist me with a letter of support. The Chamber, in partnership with the Cape Cod Chamber, is applying for a Regional Economic Development Organization grant, as we have done so each year for the past several years. Together, we will be working on myriad of economic development initiatives and funding as needed to help us to accomplish goals of addressing workforce development, blue economy, I don't know what that means, and Main Street recovery programs. Our regional economic development coordinators have requested we obtain letters from the municipalities in which we serve. We are respectfully asking each municipality in our district for a letter of supporting our efforts. I've attached a letter for your use, or if you prefer, write your own, that works too. Unfortunately, we are under a very tight deadline and hoping you would be able to turn this letter around as quickly as possible on town's letterhead. Bob Nolet, Director of Operations. I haven't been involved lately with this type of thing, so I don't know, do we have much interaction with the Chamber of Commerce? I don't know, we used to, I don't know if we still do.
I don't know that we do.
I no, this is the first, I mean, I'm new since May, but this is the first I'm seeing with the Chamber of Commerce, so.
I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine it's a bad thing. I mean, I've been a reason to think that. I don't know what a blue economy means, but I guess we'll find out.
We could recommend writing the letter, or we could write the letter and then also ask for more detail from the Plymouth County Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, the letter that they propose, it's generic. Basically says, business and economic development extremely important. We hope you look favorable on your application for support and funding, so. What's the board's pleasure?
Like you say, I don't think it can do us any damage. But again, just to understand, this isn't a Plymouth County thing, this is Plymouth area? Just,
Well, actually, yeah, they're talking about, they're partnering with,
Regional economic.
the Cape Cod Chamber.
yeah, this is the Chamber of Commerce, different, it's a private organization. So we could write back to them and just ask them, you know, can you give us a little more information about what it is you do and how you're involved? if you like?
Yeah.
I would like to do that, just because I'm not very familiar with why Halifax would write a letter for the Plymouth Area Chamber of Commerce. And maybe that's just because I'm new to the game, but I'd just like a little more information.
So we can just table it until we get
Sure.
better information, so I'll give you the original.
Thank you.
Okay. Fiscal year '23 economic development earmark. What is that? I don't think I saw it. Not really. Oh, I did. So we have a letter from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to Ms. Nolan. We are pleased to share an update regarding the economic development bill recently approved by the legislature and signed into law by Governor Baker. The legislation includes critical state funding for home heating assistance, MBTA safety improvements, workforce development, and other economic development needs, while also allowing the comptroller to close the state's books for the fiscal year. The final bill also includes a number of local amendments that we filed. This, by the way, is from our representatives Josh Cutler, Kathleen Lenatra, and Senator Michael Bradley. This is who wrote the letter. Working with our colleagues on both sides of the aisle, we were successful in securing additional funds for the town for some local priorities as follows. $100,000 for Halifax Senior Center. Not less than $100,000 shall be expended for upgrades and improvements to the senior center. $78,000 for Halifax Public Safety Improvement, and $50,000 for Halifax Recreation Improvements. Please note that these local earmarks are in addition to the regular fiscal year 23 state budget signed into law earlier this year, which includes the following local amendments: $30,000 for the Holmes Public Library, $50,000 for the Halifax Council on Aging, $125,000 for Monpont Pond cyanobacteria treatment. All these funds are designated for fiscal year 2023, which runs July 1, 2022 through June 30, 2023, and should be expended during that time, though not until after the state has formally dispersed them to the town. Warmest regards, Representative Cutler, Lenatra, and Senator Bradley. Okay, so we don't need to accept it, we don't need to do it?
No, it's just information.
So the only question I had before on that was, I know we have to use it in this year.
Yes.
And I don't know, on the Council on Aging building, I'm sure they can use money there, but somehow it seems like throwing good money after bad, because that building, I'm not sure $100,000 is going to fix it.
But it's specifically stated, not less than $100,000 shall be expended for upgrades and improvements to the senior center in the town of Halifax. So that could be the council itself, like improvements that maybe a program that can be moved to the new building, or some equipment that could be used in the old building and moved to the new building, something of that kind. But this is something that could be used now, where the $50,000 they were given before was for construction costs towards the new building. So this is a good thing.
I mean, I haven't given up on a new Council on Aging building.
No,
I think
neither
it's
have I.
high on my own personal agenda of things I'd like to see us accomplish, so.
Agree.
So, but, you know, they're going to send us money to do more improvements, that's even better, so I can't argue with that.
Right.
Okay, we don't need to do anything, just spend the money when we get it, right?
Yes.
All right. That takes care of all of our correspondence, I believe, right?
Yes.
And that takes care of all of our appointments, save the Finance Committee, and it is just about 7 o'clock.
You haven't done your licenses.
We
You
need
want to
all our
wait
licenses
on the
we can do after.
licenses, or-
Yeah, I think so, because there's
Yeah.
quite a few of them. So, and I don't want to hold these folks up any longer than we have to.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, we're a minute early. That's fine.
don't let anybody know.
I'm sorry.
Open meeting
Wait a minute.
violation.
That's it. My clock's fast.
What do you use, a mole?
Get me laughing.
All right, so, now, our Finance Committee is a budget discussion and set a date for wage and personnel hearing. So, how are you?
I see the finance committee here.
Yeah, I think everybody is, right?
Almost everybody. Thank you, guys.
How do you want to proceed? I think generally what we've talked about in the past this time of year is just the general instructions that we want to give the department heads about how they should be bringing their budgets in for next year.
Can we do the easy thing first, which is set a date? It has to
For
be-
the public hearing, for the wage
public
and
hearing.
personnel
That-
public
Is that
hearing.
that has to be a joint meeting now, right, between both
The
boards?
public hearings
That's what
in
we
Scout.
prefer, yes.
Okay.
And
No, you
just-
prefer anyway, okay.
For the record, too, that's Tom Conley.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Chair,
sorry,
that's-
yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you.
No, it's okay.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, just to cover our bases.
Yeah.
That's right, we don't have Pam here to write it down. I
Exactly.
apologize, yeah. In fact, I should have been doing that on all of these folks.
It's okay.
Sandy's taking notes.
Did you guys fire Pam?
That's it.
No. Pam became.
Pam is a grandmother.
Oh, right, right. talk about that.
Pam is
She
now
had
a grandmother
she had
today.
A happy emergency that she had to attend
Yay.
to.
Good stuff.
So the bylaw says that you have to have a public hearing before the end of January.
Okay.
And that any amendment to the wage of personnel has to be presented at that public hearing. That the department heads or anyone can propose amendments. They're supposed to be in 2 weeks prior to the public hearing.
Okay.
So I would say probably would be smart to go towards the end of January. That way Cody will be in and the amendments that are proposed, any proposal comes a copy to the selectmen, a copy to finance, and a copy to the town clerk. She keeps track of it.
It strikes me that this is something that we probably don't want to do on a regular meeting night.
I
Yeah,
would
just
definitely
On a
say
separate
that.
night,
Sure.
whatever's convenient really for the finance committee. I think we should also schedule it for upstairs, just in case we do
I
have
agree.
a crowd or whatever.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we have a lot of interest, I'm sure we will. So, you folks have an idea of what day of the week you like? or-
If I may ask, Sandy, my understanding was that under the prior regime, we just effectively disbanded wage personnel.
We did.
And so do we first need to reconstitute it somehow, or are we there, have we done whatever?
So basically, the way the amendment was done,
Yeah.
it did away with the wage and personnel board, but it put finance and the selectmen together in the place of the
So
wage and
together we
personnel board.
constitute that, and so
Right.
going back to a joint meeting, we cover that.
Right.
Okay.
I think the same question, though, it's not like we designate one, they designate one, it's both boards together.
It's both boards together. It was not written, yeah. I think that what happened is, at the end, we basically had a member from finance and a member from the selectmen who were working as the wage and personnel board. We couldn't get volunteers, and so it came down to that anyways, and it was felt that it was a little unfair that it all fell on one member of each board.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I mean, honestly, wage and personnel, in all my experience, is the most least appreciated and the most difficult job ever.
right.
Followed by the finance committee, which is, to me, also the most underappreciated work. So you just have to throw that plug in there. But I think wage and personnel, they could never do anything to me. Always a problem. Okay, so do you have a preference on a day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
I usually do Monday or Wednesday.
So we should do, I mean, Monday and Tuesday are hours and they're normal. Should we do a Wednesday night? Yeah, the 25th.
That makes sense.
Say if we did the 25th, was there any residual that we have to have this done by the end of
Right.
January, right?
So the public hearing has to be held. It does not mean that you have to make decisions on those proposals by that time.
We just have
The
to.
proposal has to be heard at the public hearing. And then you can take your time and meet with people on the proposals that were made and make decisions as you gather any information.
I think that's a good idea, the 20, if everybody else agrees, because it still leaves us 4 business days at the end of the month. It's January, so who knows if we get a snowstorm, you know, we have to do something about it. And it's also the second week that Cody will be here, so he'll at least, he should be over being shell-shocked, right?
At least he should have met
I
everyone.
might be just be able to get up off
May
the
have run
ground.
out the door, who knows?
Unfortunately, I can't do the 25th unless it's via Zoom. Can we include Zoom for that meeting as well? And I could do that piece of it.
So we could try to do a hybrid. I will talk with Caesar. It's more challenging in the Great Hall to do a hybrid, but he can do the phone.
Yeah.
So it's, you wouldn't be able to see, but you would be able to listen.
Right.
And you would be able to speak.
Right, okay.
So it would be through like a conference call.
Right.
That's 6 weeks from now, so he should have plenty of time to think about how to get a camera.
Yeah, I think we have some networking issues, but
Yeah,
we will talk about that.
Up there with the planning board thing, it took a little bit to
Right,
get
right,
going.
right.
Right, but it can't be done.
I-
If he knows in advance.
Yeah.
We will work, yeah, we will definitely work on that.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so,
So, do you want to, when we're having these joint meetings now, who is, with the vote with everybody, I guess?
right. So,
We need a vote to establish the meeting, right?
okay, So-
7 o'clock work for you folks? 6 o'clock?
That's good. 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock?
7, sure.
7?
So, why don't we take the lead? And so, one of the board want to make a motion that we hold a wage and personnel public hearing on January 25th at 7 o'clock PM?
Can I so move that?
Yes, you can.
Just did.
All right, and, wait a second.
I'll second that.
Okay, and it'll be noticed for up in the Great Hall, so there's no confusion. And we will also ask the IT specialist to make provisions for a Zoom meeting, and if we have to, I don't think we have to put that in the open meeting notice, but if we do, we can put it in there.
yeah, it does.
It does have to be, yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, any further discussions? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Okay,
Aye.
that's unanimous on both groups.
Question.
Yes, go ahead.
So do you have to set a date so we all know the date that our proposals have to be in?
Yeah,
Yes.
So that I know, okay.
I will
Let's
send
do-
out a memo.
Let's make a note, let's make another motion. So what are the, tell me again, it has to be in at least 2 weeks before.
It says 2 weeks before.
All right,
Yeah.
So we'll do it by motion, so.
All right.
Okay, so what are the dates we're talking about?
January 11th would be 2 weeks before.
So by January 11th, all the comments and requests have to be into the selectman's office.
So,
Selectmen, finance, and, yeah,
and
And
clerk.
town clerk.
and town clerk.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
And you're gonna send us a memo about that soon?
I will send it tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
okay, so all three, I was just thinking if we have them in one place, we could distribute them, but you want to do?
Well, you know what? We'd send it to the town administrator's office.
Okay,
If they send it to the town administrator and the town clerk, I'll distribute it to the selectmen.
okay.
Or Cody will distribute to the selectmen and to the finance. We'll have, I believe the town administrator's liaison to wage and personnel anyways, so.
Okay,
Alright.
so that's the only
But
date?
you won't be here until.
6
I
weeks.
will do it.
Oh, so
I
send
will
it to
do
you
it,
instead.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just
Bottom line, this
gonna
for
tell
me,
Pam to
Sandy.
make
Give it to Sandy.
I just have another So as department heads, last year, we were asked for this paperwork to be submitted, and we submitted stuff. I don't know where that went, I don't know if finance committee has copies, if
You mean-
administrator's office has copies of proposals to bylaw changes and stuff. Should we resubmit the same package that we submitted last year?
Absolutely resubmit.
Yes, yeah.
It doesn't count if it was submitted last year, no. So it has
Well,
to
because
be
it was
resubmitted.
submitted in the proper time, but then it never got addressed, because everything gets kept getting pushed, then pushed, then pushed.
The meeting never happened.
That meeting never happened, so that stuff never got discussed.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
let's
should we
let's
submit
be
everything?
sure about it, if, just send the whole thing
Okay,
again,
yeah.